All right, we are live. First time
We
streaming
are.
on StreamYard. Welcome, Dustin.
This is awesome. Thanks, Kirby. Yeah, this is my first time streaming on StreamYard. Actually, first time doing live as well. So it's definitely an adventure to be able to share with people like in real time. So usually you and I we're recording podcasts and then we
Yeah,
release it after the fact. We could do everything perfectly, edit out everything, and now it's like, hey, let's get together and do a live one.
yeah. So if there's technical difficulties, this is our first time. Go easy on us. But I want to go live real quick with you because we're coming up on, and just by way of background too. Dustin Heiner here is a buddy of mine, just a great guy, host of the Master Passive Income podcast, host of the Successfully Unemployed podcast, written several books, and also put together one of the best real estate conferences in the entire U.S. called the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference, or RubeCon, as it's mostly referred to. And I wanted to go live with you real quick because RubeCon is coming up next month, and I'm super pumped about it. I've attended the last 2 years. I've spoke at it the last 2 years, and it has been a fantastic conference. I've learned so much, and I've been doing this for 12 years now, pretty much full time. And I still had a ton of takeaways both years. So I want to just talk to you a little bit more about it and maybe answer some questions for people who are on here that might be interested. So can you kind of share a little bit about what RubeCon is and why it's different maybe from other conferences?
Yeah, absolutely. And so for everybody watching, and this is going on my streaming as well, but we will give you towards a little bit, we'll give you a 50% off code. So we'll give you a 50% off code that you can come and participate. And if you guys see Kirby online, you watch him on, either TikTok or Instagram or wherever you guys see him, he's awesome, but he's even better in person. So you need to come hang out with Kirby. But yeah, so the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference is basically all of my friends like you and many other real estate investing experts who have their own podcasts and YouTube channels and coaching and courses, who are basically experts, became successfully unemployed, that know how to invest, and they have their own audiences and students. And I called them all up like you, and I said, hey, how about we bring all of our audiences together and we create basically a conference that's not like any conference for real estate. In fact, really quick idea, most conferences, if you go to a real estate investor conference, it's always a hype and sales pitch from the main stage. And then they say it's normally $1 billion, but it's now $1,000 a day. Run to the back and go, but give us lots of money. I hated that, and so I personally wanted an event, a conference, a community that I would want to be a part of. And so what I did was I said, I'm going to go ahead and create my own conference. So a couple of years ago, I called you up, Kirby, and a number of other real estate investors said, this is my idea, is basically getting all of our audiences together and treating it as if we're having one big party, and it's 3 days of us helping everybody to invest, as well as ourselves, like meeting new people and connecting with new people. And so you came to the first one, knocked it out of the park. I had my students start working with you because of the short-term aspect that you do. And then the next year, this last year, it happened again, and every year. So what's great is we have hundreds and hundreds of real estate investors coming, as well as 40 plus expert investors who have their own students, their own coaching. They also they invest in different asset, where I'm residential, 4 units and below, long term. That's what I love. Kirby, short term. We also have people that do single family homes or midterm properties. They even do apartment complexes or storage facilities or land investing or mobile home parks, like you name it. We have all these types of asset classes. And that was my idea. Was I love teaching residential, long term, buy and hold. That's what I love. But I'm not the best at anything else. Like I know there's so many other great people like you, Kirby. And so I said, let's bring us all together so that we can help all of our audiences and literally have a no sales pitch conference, but all about giving and helping all the people that come.
Yes. Yeah. And I saw in the comments already, somebody said, can't wait. It just says Facebook user, unfortunately, on StreamYard. I realize it doesn't give us their name, but so I appreciate the comment. If you are coming, if you're watching this, comment below and let us know that you're coming. You got to type your name in there so we know who you are and not just Facebook user, but that'd be awesome. And the last couple of years, it's been in the desert in your neck of the woods. But this year, my audience, a lot of them are in the Midwest. And so they're appreciative that you decided to move the venue, because now can you tell us a little bit about where it's located?
Yeah. So I'm from Phoenix. And so I thought, okay, the very first year, if I'm going to do an event, I'm going to do it close to home so I'm not traveling, and it's going to be really, really hard to figure all this out. But praise the Lord, last 2 years went great. And then I thought and heard a lot of people, a lot of the attendees. In fact, we've had hundreds of attendees, but they fly from all over the country for this event because they want to be close to the other investors as well as us who are their coaches. And I said, let me get someplace that's much more, I guess, travelable, or it's in a proximity. So most people can travel very, very simply. So we're in St. Louis this year. We're at this amazing hotel called the Union Station Hotel. It's basically an old, like, Grand Central Station that Hilton refurbished into a mini theme park. It is phenomenal. So we're going to be in St. Louis, which is very drivable for lots of people, like all over the Midwest is great, but then East and West Coast can fly in there. But here's the great thing. We have so many other real estate investors that are literally flying from all over that we all have. Here's the biggest thing. When you're investing in real estate, you want to be around people that do it. I personally invest in real estate. I know very few people in my, like, go to my gym or go to my church or whatever that actually invests in real estate. You need to be around the actual people who are doing it. And with that, what you make sure that you do is you get around those people. And how do you know that they're doing it? Because they're actually spending money to go to an event. Like, they're not just kicking tires. They're not just coming, oh, I guess I'll show up. It's 2 hours away. I'm just no. They are making sure that they're going to come, and they're very serious about their investing. In fact, most people that come, I would say about 25% are beginners. The other 75% are intermediate to advanced investors, especially experts like Kirby, who are already teaching, and they have hundreds and hundreds of students that are very, very successful. But it's all about coaching, connecting, building relationships. So in the morning, it's going to be in St. Louis, like I said. But in the morning, we're going to have keynotes where it's going to talk about you as an investor, how to invest successfully, how to be right as a person. Then in the middle, during lunchtime and after lunchtime, we're going to have breakout sessions where we have lots for you to choose from. Like I said, 48 speakers now, 48 speakers,
Wow.
and you're able to choose. Now we will have the recordings, so you could definitely get those recordings so you can see anything you missed. And then we'll have more keynotes. So the breakouts are for education. The keynotes are for inspiration. So that's the way that I've designed it. And the last thing I'll quickly say is it's so much fun because I designed it intentionally where there's inspiration and encouragement in the keynotes. And then in the breakouts, it's tactical, how to invest in real estate. Well, I've had people say, they tell me, Dustin, I got so much more growth, mindset, planning, goal setting, like myself growing as a person at your conference, at RubeCon, a real estate investor conference, than at actual conferences that are only about growth and all that sort of stuff. So it's a fantastic time, but we have such a great community of investors. But honestly, Kirby, it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with us who are the coaches, leading by example and saying, we're just here to give. We're just here to help everybody that comes.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I love the kind of choose your own adventure, like breakout sessions, because there'll be like, 4 topics at a time. And so you can choose, like, if there's one that, or a few that don't appeal to you, that inevitably there's going to be one, probably more than one, which is why it's great to have the recordings that you're super interested in and need to work on. So it might be some financing strategy. It might be long-term rentals. It might be buying land, how to flip land, which was really interesting last year. How to 100% finance properties was one I went to last year that was super interesting. I was using credit lines really creatively. So there's all these different things that I just, sometimes you wouldn't even think to do yourself, but you can get inspiration from the different coaches there. So I love that. Is there an example or maybe a few examples of people who have attended and what kind of the results are or what somebody could expect?
Oh, totally. So I'll give you a couple examples. So one, his name's Josh. So Josh came in 2022 and he wanted to start investing. 2022 came to RubeCon and he said, by the time RubeCon next year, which he's like, I'm going to be coming every year because it helps him so much. He said, I want to have definitely one property, but he'd love to have 4 properties by the time RubeCon 23 rolled around. Fast forward, these are long-term buy and hold. I think he does, 1 or 2 short-term. Fast forward to 2023. Basically, a year later, he had 6 properties under his belt, like bought and owned 6 property, making passive income. And it was because of the education that he got at RubeCon, but also the connections, the other people that he's met and can mastermind or connect with and ask ideas off of. He started working with me as a coach as well. And with that, saw his life just literally dramatically change because now he has passive income. So, I mean, this is countless stories. I have another student who now came to RubeCon, said, you know what? I really like the idea of doing single family homes. Actually, no, so I'll pause that. We had somebody. So I had one of my students that did long term. They came to RubeCon, Sean and Roberta, you know them.
Yeah.
They came to RubeCon. They said, oh man, Kirby's amazing. I want to hang out with Kirby more. I said, yes, please go work with him. He does a fantastic job. So they bought their first rental property that with me, that was long term, but then they said, we want to do short term. So they decided to start working with you. Do you want to share a little bit of that story?
Yeah. I mean, they came up to me after the first year when I spoke and said, hey, we want to, I mean, everything you're talking about resonates with us. It's an outside the box short-term rental strategy. We want to buy a short-term rental and we want to work with you. So we talked about it and it made sense. It aligned with their goals. And so we started working together shortly after that to help them buy their first one. They ended up buying one just outside of Akron, near a lake. And it's been awesome. It's been a really great, solid house that over time is just going to appreciate and kick off great cash flow. So, yeah, it's kind of unique how these different communities kind of intermingle, and then you can, use different strategies that other people in other communities are using, and it just complements what you're already doing.
Well, on top of that, like even for me I would say that I'm an expert real estate investor. I've been doing it for so long, 20 plus years. In 2006 is when I first started buying properties. But I do not want to learn how to invest in storage facilities, or I do not want to learn how to invest in apartment complexes. Like, I don't want to do that myself. Like, that be what I invest in, because I don't want to learn it. It's just a lot of work. But I do want to invest in those things. And the great thing is, there are experts like yourself, like other speakers who are already investing, and also other attendees who are already doing it. I'm like, hey, let's work together where I give you money, or I get a part of the deal, where I invest my money in your deal and I get a cut of that. Which recently, it was about a year or so ago, I invested in some hotels. I've always loved Monopoly growing up. And so Monopoly was perfect for me, because I now had a hotel that I could invest in. So I played Monopoly in real life, buying into hotels, which is super fun. But I'm not the one doing it. I just invested my money and I make money passively. So it's so great having so many other people that are experts around you, and the other attendees. Like, they're great in themselves. Like, they are already investing, and they're going to be able to help you, give you ideas. In fact, I know a lot of people, like, we have an ongoing community. It's in Slack for the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference. It's not just a once time. Like, we want it to have it be year long, where everybody can continue work together. And so people are talking in there, helping pass along deals, getting financing, all that great stuff. So my goal is to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. And this is just another way to do that, is just get people together where it's not sales pitch. It's not where, hey, run to the back. In fact, more than likely that you're going to have to go ask Kirby, hey, Kirby, can I come work with you? Can I coach you, or have you coach me where I can give you money? That's what's going to happen. They're not going to be selling everything. In fact, one great thing is we all want to give, and more than likely we are going to be able to be there to help you. Now, we want you to come, and because we're getting really close and you're part of Kirby's audience, I want to give you 50% off, 50% off of your pass. And you can go to rubecon.com. Kirby, I don't know if you could put any links or anything like that, yep. But REWB, awesome. REWBCON, Rubecon, REWBCON.com, and use the promo code Kirby. I think that's the right one, right?
It is.
Yeah. For 50%. Yes. Use a promo code Kirby and it'll give you 50% off. And here's another, I got to say this. So my speakers, the expert investors, these are my friends. And like I said, basically I'm putting together a party that I'm inviting everybody else to. So all my friends are part of the party, but you guys are a part of it as well. Now, what's great is my conference is different. Number one, no sales pitch. But number two, most times you go to any conference, they pay some big name speaker or any speaker to come and speak. They fly in, go right to their breakout session. Don't even attend the conference. Go to their breakout session, speak, try to get money out of you, and then fly right back out. Like, they do not hang out at the conference. My conference is different. I have all of my friends who are learning themselves because they're givers and lifelong learners, but they're also there to connect and meet other people to help them to invest. So you're going to get so many great things about it. Plus, on top of that, I mean, it's 3 days of amazing real estate investing education.
Yeah, yeah, and I almost feel guilty leaving my wife and kids at home for this, because a lot of times you go to conferences and it feels like a lot of work, and you're kind of like drained. This, like you described it, it feels like a party, and it's like super laid back. You're just having fun. You're learning about stuff you're super interested in anyway, and then there's events in the evening and tons of time to get to know other people who are there. So you walk away with all these benefits, and you feel like you really didn't work that hard the whole time. But don't tell my wife that when she's home with three little kids for 3 days.
Well,
So.
I don't know about you. Yeah, I don't know how you feel. I feel tired because you're up late, you're talking to so many people, you're having a
Yeah,
lot of fun, but I feel fulfilled. Like I feel energized at the same time because people are getting aha moments, or you're starting to see them like dramatically change their investing. And at the same time, I make connections personally. Like I'm an expert investor. I make connection with people. I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad we met because now we can work together. I can invest in your deals or vice versa. And so that's what's great is you eventually get like, man, I'm tired because I haven't slept because I'm talking to so many amazing people. I'm going out and hanging out and having dinner and having great conversations. With that, though, even though you're a little tired, you'll sleep when you get back. But during the time, like I feel so much more like I feel lifted up and I felt more
yeah,
fulfilled as I connect with more people. It makes me feel so much better as overall as a person in general. It's like, man, this is a great group of people.
absolutely. Yeah, and then your real estate business obviously reflects that as well once you get back and have all these takeaways to implement as well. So, yeah, I don't want to keep that keep people too long on this live stream, but I just wanted to make sure if there's people who are tuning in who hadn't heard of RubeCon, it's coming up so quick. It's the dates are March 14th through 16th, so it's just about a month away at this point, and it is so accessible for a lot of people, kind of centrally located for a lot of people, that I highly encourage you to check it out. Go to rubecon.com, use a promo code Kirby to get 50% off. Any parting shots here?
Totally. So, one of the biggest things that I want you to remember, so if you're coming, definitely we want you to come. This is a community for you. My suggestion, because I've done it the opposite. I've done it the way, when I say opposite, I've done it where I try to go into an event or network with somebody and I try to see what I can gain out of somebody. Oh, let me go meet this person because I can gain this out of them. That's the wrong way to approach it. In fact, that turns people off. Be completely honest and tell you that if you're coming, come with the idea of like, how can I help somebody else? And I kid you not, like every single time it turns back around. I know that Jesus says it's better to give than to receive. And I think it's not just like present wise or gift wise. No, it's like literally, if you're giving, it's so much better. Like that's such a huge, amazing statement that until you actually realize it, if you're in the taking or like what you can gain out of something, you don't realize how amazing it is to give first because the getting is so much more. So come, absolutely come. You need to be here. Focus on serving, and then you will gain so much more in return. But use that promo code Kirby. Go to rubecon.com, REWBCON.com. Use that promo code Kirby so that you can get 50% off of your pass.
Awesome. Thanks again for taking the time here, Dustin.
Thank you, Kirby. I appreciate it, man.
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, totally. I'm super pumped, man. It's going to be so much fun.
All right. See you, buddy. Bye.